gentlemen and judges. My name is Molida and I'm from IEL International School. The topic that I've been given today states that Scotland has more in common with other small nations than it is with its neighbor England. Scotland and England are both countries in the United Kingdom. However, both countries display different background, history, and culture. Some people might see major differences between the two countries depending on what aspects they focus on. One aspect that I would like to elaborate on is their culture. The two countries share distinct traditions varying from cuisines, culture, and national events. An example of this is that Scottish men would wear kilts as a traditional outfit, whereas the English drinks afternoon tea as a tradition. Looking at small nations that shares borders with Scotland, they could be easily influenced by the Scottish culture because firstly, they have shorter history and a limited culture. Therefore, they would have more in common with the Scottish culture. Another aspect is language. The people in Scotland speak Scottish and the people in England speak English. This fact already has determined the uncommon side of the two countries. Both countries speak different languages and therefore showcases an opposing background and personality. Whereas like culture, the minor nations are more influenced by Scotland, and therefore they would tend to want to speak Scottish. Different countries stand on different ground. They have different geographical location. Therefore, Scotland and England does not have the same environment and weather. As England is an industrial country, they would have more people, they would have more crowd and be more hectic than in Scotland. Whereas in Scotland, the weather would be much cooler or hotter in certain part of the year than England. And my last point is about education. Education is a devolved manner in both Scotland and England. It is mandatory for students ages 5 to 16 because also it is provided freely by the government. However, the two countries does not have the same educational system. In Scotland, the government would want to teach their people more about the Scottish history, whereas in England, they would want to teach their people more about the English history. These are the differences between Scotland and England. However, there are also similarities between the two countries, just a matter of how much. The closer the countries are, the similar they are. And the bigger they are, the stronger and stable their personality and background is. Yet, we cannot assume that the two countries are not similar at all. Lastly, I would like to leave a message that, as children of our nations, we should put our best effort into conserving, protecting, and expanding our culture. Let others hear about our heritage and make them overwhelmed and impressed. Don't copy or try to appear like other culture. Instead, embrace your identity. Thank you.
Thank you, and now I'd like to invite our judges for asking questions.
Let's talk a little bit about culture and differences in the way of life between Scotland and England, but I'm curious about what you think about differences with regards to politics. England obviously being a really important regional power, Scotland not so much. How are they different in that way? In what ways are they different, and what impact does that have when we're comparing Scotland to England versus other small nations?
I don't know much about politics in England or in Scotland, but I know for sure that England is a much more powerful country, and this can make their culture and everything about them more powerful, and it can influence other countries more. Whereas in Scotland, they are a smaller country, and therefore they might have less impact on other countries. This makes, yeah, sorry.
Can you name a few the small nations that have more in common with Scotland?
I think some smaller nations that are similar to Scotland would be Wales, Northern Ireland, Finland. Yeah. Thank you.